Hello, everybody. Don't really know what I was doing with that one, but as usual, welcome to the stream. And, yeah, I hope you're all doing well. I didn't know that you could actually fail to get the ad loaded on startup twice in a row. Twitch will do it on its own time, and you just have to accept that. That ad button will turn green way before it's ready to accept what you're doing. So, that's cool. That's real cool. Anyways, we're on to gossip. I believe we're on the final map, though it's kind of hard to remember because you've got the end of numbers. So we tend to have to, do it manually. Let's see. We start with city streets, then sewers, then town, then tree elevator, then tech base, then Hell 1, then Hell 2, which was last night. So Hell 3 should be map number 8, which should be the final combat one, and the map 9 should be the story one. So if I'm not mistaken, tonight is the night, just before Christmas. How about that? Just before Christmas. Oh no, we don't need a new game. We need to load an old game. Did I? Huh. Yeah, I didn't. I thought that I had saved, but I hadn't saved. Kind of weird of me, but you know me. If I was good at this, we'd be in a different situation. Oh, it's very dramatic, but, you know. So really, the central conceit of this area from last night was the sort of central core. There's the Archviles. I decided not to march back to go kill them all, though it is funny to watch them from here. I really hope that shows up on stream. This is a really fun, look at them oscillate. You want to talk about oscillating? There's some oscillating. But yeah, I was talking to the map maker last night, and I do think I kind of screwed myself out of the central conceit of this map, which is that you're trying to get to this central thing. It does have a conceit, like a lot of the previous maps. It's just one that you can avoid if you're like, I'm too clever, I'm not going the intended path, I'm gonna find the secret. And then it is the intended path, because you need all 6 keys to actually get there. Now anyways, here's Day of the Dreadnoughts, the final zone. You know, at least 1 in 100 times, one of those Barons is gonna throw out a 64 damage fireball. Hi, Cybe. Yeah, that happens. Anyways, we're gonna save here. Good choice of save. God damn, Floor's always hungry. So I actually don't know how to start whatever this is. Though I have my suspicions. Brilliant, mate. Brilliant. Okay, so that one is lowering. Okay, yeah, no, I beefed it, huh? Well, I'm jiggling. It's not working out. Really should have been prepared the second time. Like, I don't really know what I thought was going to happen any different than the first time. Damn, this Mancubus is like, I can't harm the hostages. I've got to take this. That Mancubus played SWAT 4 a lot. What was that? Okay. This time, grab your rocket launcher, please. Oh god. Okay, here we go. Nope. Alright, cool. Yeah, they'll do that. Okay. Let's just save state, like, over here, you know? Okay, for God's sake. Okay, here we go. Okay. Weird, but, I like this fight. Dynamic. Sure, it's tough. That's fine. Okay. Alright. Okay, yeah, we're going handgun on this one. Save every rocket you can. Wish I had a clean shot on the Arachno, but I don't. Alright. That's one down. One more to go. Damn, we got some tough Manx here. Okay. Doom Guy's definitely seen better days. But, not so rough. Okay. Let's see if we can find more rockets. We need them. But then again, we need a lot of stuff. Hey, okay. That was a bit rough, but not terrible. You could probably no-hit that fairly clean. Alright. There we go. Whoa. Alright. Now this is some visual spectacle. I'm into whatever this is. Huh? Do you need a rocket in there? You can send a rocket in there. Fair enough. Okay, well that didn't quite work the way that I thought that it might. Well, I still believe, but I clearly need a little bit more, Mm-hmm. See, the problem is they occupy the space you're moving into. That doesn't work that way, Defers. So if it doesn't work that way, then we can't move forward, which means we can only move backward. And if we can only move backward, then we just need to do this slower. Until for some reason they start hitting you dead on like that, which does not seem like it would be indicated, and yet it happens. Okay, to be fair, they are far enough away that that's not crazy, right? That's where the problems start, you know? Yeah, like I can do a U, and then I have to contemplate. Because they're coming from all angles, right? So it's not like a Z-axis change of its own can deliver me, right? Like the movement needs to be a little bit more complex than just a Z-axis change. Okay, so you can move forward if you're smart about it. You just, I mean, ooh, that's not being smart about it. But you can move forward if you're smart about it. I just need to conceptualize this a little bit more thoroughly. Yeah, the problem is there's a bit of a spread. There's a bit of a delay. Like, you want to be able to move forward, but then you just fall directly onto a heap of plasma, which, you know, is problematic. It's not good for the health. It's a puzzle fight. Okay. Yeah, no, you just end up pilloried on a pile of plasma. How's that for alliteration? Why did only one of them shoot me for a second there? Man, I feel big. I don't even know how long I need to survive for. How do I manage to fall back directly onto the plasma balls that were there before? That's crazy. Man, this one's gonna be tough. Nope. Got nailed. Got nailed. Got nailed. We're gonna die. Is that open yet? No, it's not even moved. Okay. Can rockets help me with this at all? Oh, got it. I can't tell. I can't tell. You know, call me stupid, but I don't think that my rockets did much. Okay, I kind of got it. Kind of. I mean, I kind of got it. That's the problem. I only mostly got it. And you need to not only mostly got it, you need to got it, you know? Nope, just falling backwards onto a pile of plasma. Okay. I'm going to rewind real quick and try to not completely beef that. We're moving to rewinds now. Yeah. Okay, we appear to be completely fucked. I can't tell what changed. Yeah, we appear to be hemmed in, you know? Yeah, still hemmed in. How long ago did we become completely fucked? Still completely fucked? Yeah, no. What determines when we get completely fucked? I'm not so sure about, you know? Other than my, like, physical visual reflexes, which is what I'm, you know, relying on here, being kind of dog shit by the standards of this. Whoop. 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 Yeah, no, I just keep falling on that shit. Like, I can't jump rope over it, you know? They're far enough away that, you know... If that's killing them, then I can't tell. I don't think there are any less than there were before. Let me just put it like that. Fuck. I'll take things that would be Piss Easy and Jeezy Doom for 500, Alex. Well, Piss Easy and Jeezy Doom if jumping were enabled, which I'm fairly sure this thing is smart enough not to put that on the UMAP info. Right? Like, there's no chance in hell. There's no chance in hell you can jump in this by default, right? Because there, it's just a game of, like, you know, playing jump, skipping rope. Fuck. Here, unfortunately, I'm not very good at skipping rope, and I don't know how long for, you know? We are at 5%. Cool. I just fell on those. Fuck. Cool. I feel like I'm 75 feet tall. Usually that would be seen as like a positive thing, but no, I mean that solely in the pejorative. I feel like I'm made out of Winnebagos. Like, I feel like I'm a fucking bus. I'm probably doing this wrong again. But I have no idea what right even looks like at this point, right? Because it's very clearly you have to use the U shape of the arena to get something to happen so that you can make enough of a space so that you can fly through. And what am I missing? Okay. I don't know. This definitely feels like things that I've seen Decino do. The things that I remember Decino doing did things differently, but how? I don't know. I see... Okay. There's a spot there. Okay. There's a spot there. Okay. It's not perfect. I'm gonna die. No. We did not miss it. Yeah, okay. Come on. Where's it thinning out? There. I'm gonna die. Oh, hey! We did it! That was fucking brutal, but we got there. Torb, thank God. Oh no, Torb! Oh, really? By all means, fellas. Have at it. Oh god. Okay. Well... we do not have a chain gun to deal with this. So let's hope auto-aim doesn't just ruin our lives forever. In this thread, auto-aim ruins our lives forever. Okay. Nah. How did I know it was going to happen that way? How did I know that? I was going to do that. It's mysteries, wonders never cease, you know what I'm saying? The music of the spheres right here. Yeah, that's what I wanted to see. Thank you, Face Rocket Auto Aim. Beautiful. Okay. This is a relatively small fight by the size of the kill count, let me tell you why. And auto-aim is, of course, ever the faithful yeoman. Okay. go. So I actually don't know where I've already been, come to think of it. But, I'm going to assume this is... Okay, the bars are raised on this one, so it's not that one, apparently. It must be that one. If I had to guess. Oh, hey! Where was that bed kit that I just saw? There it is. So it must be here, maybe? Okay, here we go. I genuinely don't know what this thing wants me to do. So I'll just kill a cyber demon, even though the answer is never to kill a cyber demon. This time the answer might be to kill a cyber demon, I don't know. You never know, you gotta try the obvious thing first. Yeah, that's not right. I mean, this time... Yeah, it'll happen. It's only natural, right? God, that's on me, though. Man, I don't remember Cyber Demons taking this long, but to be fair, the red eye effect probably is determinant of that. Oh god. Okay, that was bizarre. Anybody else find that a little strange? Whatever, I'll take it. Yeah, it'll happen. Alright. Stay on the inner circle, but... I don't remember Cyber Demons taking this long. And it was close to this always, but... Unless there's more Cyber Demons than I think there are, which there could be 3 or 2. I think there's 2. There could be 3. That would do it. Yeah, this fucking guy. Okay. Oh man. Oh man. No, we're gonna rewind. We're gonna rewind. Absolutely not. We've seen the bare basics. Okay. We're gonna die again, but okay, whatever. We've got shot shells at least. Okay. Okay, where do I go exactly? Okay. Well, the lights are flashing. That's good, right? Oh, for God's sake. The floor is so goddamn hungry. Stop it, man. Jesus. Alright, there we go. When keeping at Nukage rhythm goes wrong. There's no secrets this time. Okay, we've only killed a tenth of the enemies, so... Okay, we have a... Okay. We are just grabbing everything that we can. Lorb, okay, good. Okay. There we go. For now. Let's, yeah. Well, this is problematic, to say the least. Okay. Yeah, that's why we were doing that. Oh my god. Okay. What was that? I don't like my odds here, but, yeah, that's fine. %. So yeah, we'll die basically on one hit. I mean, not quite that bad, but it's fairly bad. Yeah, it's bad. For Rocket Manco, you better believe. Damn it. That really didn't feel as common as it sometimes happens, you know? Like, another full Rocket Mancubus, for God's sake! least we got a medkit teleported in for when you need to run across that. Alright, here we go. Whoop. Hey, we got lucky. Okay, here we go again. I want to save that for later. No, I don't. What am I talking about? What the hell, man? Alright. Oh, boy, this is disastrous. Alright, well, let's go. We will die in one hit, huh? Got it. One hit of ourselves, too, to be fair. We fire those rockets, and come on. Nope. Alright. Oh, from there. Okay, cool. Hey! 3% health. Technically all I need. Okay. That is not the work of a single Archie. This is not the work of a single Archie, which is more comforting than you think. It means we're making progress in the fight, even if it is hard fought. That might be the work of a single Archie. Damn it, frame perfect it. God damn it. God damn it. Yeah, Pillar Archviles, I know, I know. What? Okay, whatever. Okay. Save state here. Man. Alright. Yep, that'll happen sometimes. Yep. Wow, they're really obsessed with me all of a sudden, huh? Holy. Nope. Well. Oh my god, dude! Don't care. Christ. Getting away from the Archviles that are trying to kill you is insanely hard. Well, looks like we got all that we need, though, so that's good. Everything from here on out is just pure, yeah. Man, no, 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 no! No! Stop it! So only half the arena had these guys, I guess? Yeah, I guess. Blorb. Blorb, get over here. I'm gonna assume the Blorbs were keeping the Archies away. Alright, beautiful. Alright, finally. Hello, Kako. I don't even know where you're trying to go. Alright. Oh, hey. Alright. I hear an imp. There's an imp down there. Just the one. Okay, well, hold on. Let's see if we can do that a little bit more effectively then. Okay. Hello. I don't know what this is about. You guys have fun with that. Yeah, who could have guessed? I like this. Yes, it's hard as shit, but I've never seen anything quite like it, or at least seldom see anything quite like it. However hard it might be, it definitely plays to the strengths of Spider Mama. There are maps that are like this, but not 100%. You usually see infinite variations on Cyber Demon fights. Spider Mama fights, much rarer, even though, as you can tell, there is a formula to them. The formula is not a bad formula at all by any means either. The first time I was made aware of this type of formula for a map set is a map called Mrs. God, which is a really good name. It's apparently named after a song. The entire, the entire Doom WOD was based off someone's album or something. Mrs. God has a map that does this, but with a lot more verticality. So the Mama rides an elevator that's by a lot of cages instead. And so this is very different from that, but it still has some of that DNA. Like, you are within spitting distance of this Mama. You have to survive somehow, which, you know, in retrospect, I may have made certain miscalculations here. Again. Oh, God. Oh, they can't get past that circle. Oh, I'm not locked in here with them. They're locked in here with me. Leaving aside the fact that I keep shooting every pillar. Like, every pillar. Every possible pillar I shoot. Leaving that aside. Case in point. If it is conceivable that I might shoot a pillar, I will shoot. Holy shit! That's fine, though. No, that feels fine. That feels doable. Let me just, yeah, let me just, yep. Wow. Sure. We love the homing fireballs, don't we, folks? Oh, for God's sake, come on. We need to get rid of these. For the love of God. Okay, come on. No. Jesus Christ. It's right behind me, huh? I need to get rid of it. Ah, damn, come on. It's not that hard. No, I refuse. I just need to get rid of these. For God's sake. Jesus Christ. Ugh. Jesus Christ, come on. Ugh. Okay. For God's sake, the floor is so hungry. Okay, there we go. Well, where do we go from here? Probably into the center, if I had to guess. Sure, let's go with that. There's a health bonus in there. Well, there's got to be an exit, right? The map ends here. It's just unfinished. No. No, that didn't happen. Nope. What am I looking for? Well, map's not going to give me any advice. There's a Grorb. I'm honestly a little concerned about that, actually. That implies that, get over there. We need to find a spot that we can climb. That lowers. How does that lower? How do we lower that? Well, we don't lower it like this. Well, that's one thing off your mind. Okay, so I line def skipped is the problem, I think. No. Stop that. No. What do you mean? Is it hurt floor under there? It must be. That has to be the explanation. Okay, this one doesn't hurt though. Okay. Yeah, no, that one specifically is hurt floor, I think. I'm fairly confident when I say that. Okay. We're in the pillar place. There's stairs. Oh, there's stairs. Yeah, that's fair. Don't worry, this is not going to turn into an overwhelming horde mode on the basis of me going too fast. Jump scared by a lost soul? Oh, not quite yet. I'm sure something else will happen, but if it's about, oh, what if they move too fast? Then I can catch them in a devious trap. Oh, don't worry. That one. We gotta worry about that one. No, I don't think we do. I'm sure there'll be another trap in this platforming thing that'll get me, but not that one. Not that one. Would you like to try again, sir? Yeah, there we go. Oh, pain. Oh, okay. Listen here, you bastard. Well, I lost 50% of my health to that. Let me just walk on it. Okay. Here we go, pain elemental time. Honestly, not a bad place to fight a pain elemental, I think. It can get as confused on the bars as I can. Okay. You know, I never claimed to be good at Doom platforming. I'll tell you that for free. Just walk on it. Alright, well, let's see. Leaving aside the fact that I got my ass kicked by a single pan elemental, like just the one. That won't matter soon, though. There's more blorbs. A lot more blorbs. There's even torbs. Ah. Okay. Well, rule number one of a fight like this: don't open fire. Ah, goddammit. Come on, let's... Okay, fine. Let's go again. So rule number one is absolutely do not open fire until everybody's on the scene, you know? The Cyber Demons are fast. They'll get here. Ideally, you don't want to engage until the Lost Souls are around, but that's a bit of an ideal, you know? Once the Cacos start showing up in clouds, it's time to start firing. Can't see a thing. still got incoming. This is bad. This is what you want to avoid. Alright. Cool, I guess that was probably, yep, just a lucky snipe from a cyber. Alright. Okay, well, we got damage boosted onto a torp, so I guess that's fine. Oh, thank you. You really understood the assignment, auto switch. Oh my god, thank you, Pinky. Now, let's see how much we can avoid. Stupid idea, but does it work? No, it doesn't. There's an equally stupid version of that idea that does work. Basically, you just have to platform into the teleporter every time, so you don't take damage. Nope. Missed the blorb by this much. Oh, okay. We can do that. Does that confer an advantage? I mean, maybe. It's one of the stupid, like, I don't typically try to cheese fights too much, but that's one of the stupider cheeses that I could imagine. It'd be really funny if it worked. I can't imagine it does, because you still have to dodge cyber rockets from all directions. On the other hand, you can probably get a nice big end-fight party going, you know. Okay. Okay, well that was rough. Can't see. Cool. Thank you, Auto Aim. The most majestic tool in the entire Doom arsenal. Ah, damn it, dude! Fucking bouncy pinky. Anyways. Seven minutes till the big day, or the eve of the big day. Personally, I don't know about y'all, but my family's always been a Christmas Eve type of family. Right? Of course, that's changed a little bit these days, now that we have to conform to national workday standards. My mom used to be very stay-at-home. These days, she's got a job, so you know. Even back in the day, my dad was a prof, right? My biological dad, rather. So when we celebrated Christmas, we'd be free to do things on the 24th, which is when we were fond of doing it. Cool, thanks. Well. Oh, come on, no. Oh, come on, no. Really, though. Jesus Christ. Okay, we've got no choice. Let's get out here. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Take a moment to remind. Wait a minute. Okay, now it's getting real. Excuse me. We need to get to that soonish. It's getting like God Machine in here. Oh, this is rough. Yep. All right. From our family to yours, a little slice of God Machine on Christmas Eve. Ooh, okay. Just to spice things up a little bit, you know? What, really? Yes, really. Of course, really. I got critted out by a Baron. And there's another one ready to do the same thing again. I also must point out, I was literally, like, if it had just done 48 damage, I would only be 1%, like, I would still have had 1 percentage point of health left, so it had to roll max to kill me. Okay, well, this is problematic. We gotta do cleanup this way, huh? Alright. Okay, fine. Welcome to the party, pal. Come on, any day now. At a time and place of your choosing, please. Alright. How about playing ball? Okay. I think that's cleanup done. Do we need this much extra health? Probably not. Okay, here we go. Technically all you need. I could use her some torbs. I think we should get these idiots to infight, because I can't catch a rocket with my face and live. I mean, I wasn't guaranteed to be able to catch a rocket with my face and live either, you know? I'm just saying. This time, I am very rocket allergic. Like, rockets are allergens to me right now, you know? I have an acute rocket allergy. I can't take much more. See what I'm saying? Like, even like, okay, hey, okay, yeah, sure, no, this is fun. Technically all you need. Okay, that's our cue. I like these stairs. I don't usually comment on little things like that, but look at those. Sometimes you can only really see the real beauty of you know, of Doom in its limit removing format. Like, honestly, that was fairly majestic. Alright, so that was Day of the Dreadnoughts. And here's The World is Full of Hope. Alright. That only took 1 hour and 21 seconds. 1 hour and 21 minutes, thank you. 22 seconds. You know... Is this it? Surely not, right? I mean, maybe? The problem is, I can't tell the difference between it. Like, this doesn't seem like it would be it, right? But it could be. But it might not be. I mean, there's one way to check. Okay, no, that's... Okay. So no, that is the ending. There's the stairs leading down. And here's the place where the grass is, and the blue. And here we are. Alright. So, with that in mind, let's actually get to the finale. Or, the epilogue, rather. Read after finishing the campaign. Well, we finished the campaign. It's been hours since you started climbing these stairs. Maybe days. You cannot tell anymore. Brief serenity shimmers somewhere on the horizon as your mind tries to purge itself from the horrors you've witnessed. Up until now, you've been driven by what you had to do, but you can only go so far pretending not to notice. It's like all the suffering of everyone ever has passed through you, chipping away what little is left of your sanity. You've made it out, but it doesn't seem like a victory. Your soul feels tainted, foul, and ugly, broken beyond repair with its pieces mismatched and scattered across the impossible vastness of reality. As you slowly distance yourself from the cold pit down below, you begin to wonder if your efforts meant anything in the long run. The Earth was already pretty far gone the last time you saw it, and you can't tell how much time has passed since. And here, the logic is broken. Timelines are tangled and overlapping. Everything that was, will be, or could have been. And where is here, anyway? The echoes of torment and death slowly grow more and more distant. The air feels different. Almost calming, but alien and strange, filling your lungs in unfamiliar ways. There seems to be something up there, glistening. You take a step outside and examine your surroundings. The sky is black as coal. The sky is black as coal. The grassy field feels eerie, as if it's not supposed to exist. The whole place seems unreal and elusive. It looks like it'll collapse on itself any second, like a pleasant dream you don't want to wake up from. Yet it remains firm. But you know this is no dream. Your mind is simply attempting to cope with something it was never designed to perceive. Wherever you are, it's abundantly clear you're very, very far off away from home. Then again, what you call home might not even exist anymore. Somewhere deep down, you have a feeling that this might be the case. And yet it's almost unsettling how insignificant that seems. Just a faint memory from a past long gone, ready to be completely forgotten. The sense of detachment, is it just a side effect from the recent events, or have you always felt this way? This empty disconnection from everyone and everything, as if watching the rest of the world through a thick glass. You entertain those thoughts for a moment while looking up at the starless void above. After briefly losing your sense of direction, you find yourself on the verge. A gentle rush of water serves as suitable ambiance for the sea of lights, stretching on the horizon across the chasm. A gap too big to cross, yet there's seemingly no way back. The other side is right there, so close, yet just out of reach. You can't help but crack a smile at the irony of making it all this way, just to be stopped at the critical moment by something so trivial. It almost feels like you can make it across, just barely. You can put everything you have into the jump. But a single honest look makes it clear that this just isn't going to happen. It's too far. Just far enough to make it impossible. You sit down on the edge, gazing toward the dark horizon. The shimmering lights taunt you by their proximity. You allow yourself a moment to ponder your next move. Surely there's a way out of here. A way across the chasm, towards the alluring mirage. The more you look at it, the more beautiful it seems. It's what you've always been searching for. Everything you've ever wanted right in front of you, so perfect. It's this close. There's got to be a way to reach it. You know that now. After all, the world is full of false hope. Alright. Well. Yeah, I don't know what to make of that. I mean... yeah, that was never going to be the answer, but sometimes you gotta try, right? Is there anything out here? Nope. So this is an interesting ending. I like it. It does make me wonder if the transmitter thing, if the transmitter plot from the beginning kind of resolves itself or what. Yeah. I don't know. Like, yeah, it's hard to say. Having read through the story, I understand that, as is very common of these hell stories, right? Or hell terminated endings. Let's put it like that. Uh, the protagonist's mentality kind of changes over the course of the journey. I think that's expected, and I think that's completely valid. But it does make me wonder, like, there were a lot of mysteries about who gave the Drake Cygnus the suitcase or anything like that. So, yeah, I don't know. Um, Actually, come to think of it, I don't know if this will work, so I'll give it one shot. But I don't expect it to. Okay. Huh. 97% corrupted. Okay, so it just loops back around to the start of the map. Okay. So there's no intermission text or anything that we're missing. We have everything that we need. Alright. Well, there it is. Also, did I think to be or not to be last night for following? I believe I did. Okay. In case I didn't, thank you for following again. But anyways, yeah, I think I'm confident in my initial assessment. I said I'd heard that Gossip was one of the best ever, and I'd say, yeah, one of the best ever. Obviously, the the field of the very best Doom maps is so after like 30 years, it's such a competitive space that it's really hard to like say in absolute terms, right? But I would say that there's maps in there that would easily make, like, if we had to rewrite the top 100 greatest WADs of all time, or top 100 greatest maps of all time, this would make it in. This would slide in easy. Yeah? I've definitely played maps in that list that were not as good as even my least favorite of the maps here. Obviously, there's always the question of difficulty discourse, right? And I try not to get too much into it these days anymore because I realize the more I've played Doom maps as a sort of like streamer thing, the more that I've tried to keep up with the community, the more I've realized that the difficulty curve has just kind of left me behind and will continue to do so. But at the same time, it's only left me behind so much, right? So I can still play everything at the hardest difficulty level as long as it's not like not even remotely fair or something like that. But as long as I've got my rewinds and my save states and my regular saves, but despite the difficulty, I think that we can separate that from the actual map sets themselves. And within that perspective, I would say that Gossip is probably one of the best ever in terms of detailing, in terms of atmosphere, in terms of self consistency. Like, not that self consistency is a necessary ingredient per se, right? But if that's what the mapper chooses to focus on, then it can enhance the map set. And I think that the self consistency enhanced the map set. The only place that's a little iffy was the flashing brown water, and that's only because I didn't realize that the flashing brown water and the regular brown water were different brown waters. If you go back and you look, the like everywhere is consistent. I think the only potential damaging floor inconsistency is that one pillar out of the three in the Spider Mama fight that is just a damaging floor. Maybe. I'm fairly sure that's what it was because I like save stated it like 3 or 4 times and it happened every time. But that aside, yeah, no, I would say that in terms of construction, they're all very tightly designed. I would say that the front half is stronger than the back half. I do still maintain this. But, the map maker asserts that the important part of the back half of, what we've just been playing is, in general, the focus on, how could I say this? The focus on just straight combat, right? Just the focus on just doing that and nothing else. The touchdown TFTD. Don't mind me. That's just me again. Touchdown TFTD was the maker of these maps and has been in contact with me the entire time. I would just say they're very good, But what I was missing is not so much the combat focus. It's just the way that the more grounded environment of the Earth maps permitted there to be more of a narrative thrust. And it's not impossible because the earliest part of the Hell map, right, was that three you get the three blorbs and you get the puddle of water to come together. And that was interesting, right? I really like that sort of narrative effect where it's like, we don't really know how this hell place works, but we know we're doing something. We're changing the environment. And then, like I said, the last map, the previous map, the carousel, that one had the same thing going on, kind of. You have this beacon at the center, and if you actually look, whenever you stare out into the void, you can see the beacon, but it's just not. First of all, if you try to brain genius your way into finding a secret at the start of the map, like I do, you just miss the little. You need the 6 keys to get ahead, a thing, and naturally, because it's a carousel, you have to go all the way around. That stands to reason. But that aside, I do think that there isn't a case to be made that the Earth levels are conceptually stronger than the Hell levels in certain ways because they can lean on the detail. And obviously, Touchdown TFTD's perspective is that nobody's ever been to Hell, so you can't make a realistic Hell level. I agree. I don't think that's an unreasonable objection at all. And on top of that, you want the Hell levels to be surreal, right? You want to design them to be further away from the normal, to be more of a departure. At the same time, this comes with some trade-offs, right? Because you expect, like, okay, when we have all this mounting lore for the Earth dimension, it talks about the folding of space and the folding of time. And true enough, that happens a bunch, and it really does build up. By the time that you get into Hell, it's kind of like the trap teleports kind of fall back into the sort of trope that exists within Doom mapping. You know what I'm saying? Like, it feels as though the topology is folded in a sort of more conventional way. That's not always the case, though. I can think of the. I want to say that it was the sixth map that had it, where you had this green marble hallway and there was a puzzle that you had to do where like space and time was folded, so you just had to like go through each and every single one. So it's like, yeah, that makes more sense to me. Uh, there was a sort of theme of centrality, right, that happened on the maps after the sixth, with the seventh and the eighth especially. So, like, you traverse through Carousel, so you go around, and then finally you go in. Then, on the next map, Day of the Dreadnoughts, you end up doing a similar sort of rotation, and then you go in again to the center, and that takes you to the final place where then you go up into the stairs, into what is presumably a dimension somewhat distinct from the regular hell, though it's hard to say, right? Because the epilogue sure does imply that, you know, there is something still hellish about this place. Because of that, it's hard to say. It's hard to say, right? I do like what it's going for in that sense. I do like the buildup of it, and obviously, if you think about it, if you think about hell as it's sort of typically portrayed as a sort of worst punishment imaginable, you could see that as being more than the torments of all the world. This is the personal torment of the protagonist. Alternately, it could be something else. It's hard to say, right? It's hard to say. It could be heaven and of some abandoned kind. We don't know. These days, that's getting to be a big theme. Hell has beaten heaven was a theme that we encountered in the Purgatory map set. So maybe that's what Touchdown was going for. It's hard to say. What I can say is that I enjoyed the map set a lot for its details. I enjoyed a sort of unique sense that I got where it's like it sort of straddled the line between the original Dooms. We're not even trying to imply what this machine is or does, right? We're just kind of like, this is just a tech base. There's just switches and things go up and down. And then there's like going down levels of Doom Cute, right? And this does do going down levels of Doom Cute on occasion. Not all the time, but occasionally. It does dip its toes into that, especially in the Earth levels. And I do think that that's good. Touchdown TFTD saw this as sort of a culmination of all the things that were important about Doom to Touchdown. And I could see where that's sort of validated, and what that validates different modalities of dooming, right? Obviously, I obviously can only come at this from what I value most in Doom, especially since there is some overlap, but all, not all. And from there, I do think that the map sets, there are things that I would have wanted to see more of, but I don't necessarily think that I can knock points, especially because again, these fights are very well constructed and they all have straightforward answers. And a lot of the times, I kind of screwed up in some way, shape, or form when I had extreme difficulties with them. Now, obviously, we can start debates about communicability of the intended path with higher levels of challenge, right? It becomes a bit more difficult to assert, right, that there's a certain given type of right or wrong, particularly because at the end of the day, this map set's hard on oscillation. But first of all, it has a variety of difficulty options for a variety of different play styles. And second of all, besides that, it it definitely has a certain amount of it's not focused on being like a giga challenge, right? Like Mapfest or Mapfest 2, Hardfest 2 Map 40 kind of set my head on straight about what real high level difficulty looks like. It looks like getting blasted to just pieces, right? It looks like that bridge fight where you don't know ahead of time how you're supposed to do this, and you're just kind of playing it by feel when you need to leave. This didn't do anything quite that difficult. Anytime that there was something that was approaching that level of try and retry, it turns out that there was typically, with the exception maybe of Carousel's sort of pinky zone, some sort of solution, right? Carousel's little pinky, then pain elemental. Yeah, it was like pinky, imp, pinky, mancubus, caco, pinky, no, imp again, and then something like that, right? That one was, I think I did the right thing from the start, and it was just very hard. But typically, it wasn't an execution challenge, unless it was an execution challenge that you were supposed to just kind of lose, and if you were saving normally, it would be the case that you'd be able to get through it. But that's always the problem, I think, with modern Doom in general. You don't know what the difficulties mean ahead of time unless somebody like dictates for you, like unless somebody you select the difficulty and there's like a paragraph of exposition, you just kind of have to guess at what is going to be most compatible with your skill set. And I don't think that's anybody's responsibility to fix, right? There's only so much that any individual mapper can do, especially because difficulty as a scale is always climbing in Doom as a community, right? So yeah, I don't think there was anything that you can really knock on the difficulty. There's options. I would recommend that if you don't think you can do better than me, or if you don't know that you could do better than me, you probably want to play on the difficulty that's lower than oscillation. You probably want to play on that one instead. But oscillation's definitely not an unreasonable challenge either. I would say that it's definitely going to have its audience. And yeah, I would say that the map's attention to detail never does let down. Like it never does let up, even in the more abstract hell dimensions. Like that carousel area had a lot of interesting detail. This is one of those where it's like I would actually recommend you do like a toggled mouse look in certain levels just so that you can really soak in the detail, but not all of them. Just the hell levels really, where you can really appreciate some of the verticality. Because I think that the urban levels, I mean, you might even be able to get some benefit out of it there, but still, you know how it is. But yeah, every map is just blazingly detail oriented. Every map has a scale to it that's just colossal. I genuinely hope that Touchdown will eventually come back to the Doom community with more new projects. But, given the scope of this one, I can see why taking a break would make sense. I do think that these maps, like, I do see more potential to be drawn out of Touchdown's mapping chops. I genuinely believe that there are even higher highs to pursue. And I hope that someday I get to bear witness to that. But that's, up to Touchdown. And even if it never happens, I do have to say that I've been massively impressed massively impressed, and I do think this raises the bar for the Doom community as a whole. It definitely changes the game. I would say that this is up there. This is up there. It has its own style, which is part of what you would expect, right? You can't just compare it one to one because then it's not original. But like Doxylamine Moon, Mucus Flow, and some of Lupinix Castman's work, I think this kind of stands in that sort of tier for me. It's harder than usual, but yeah, obviously there are maybe, you know, maps that you could point to and say that they're better, but it's good enough that that kind of comparison starts to fall apart, would be the way that I would describe it, because it's genuinely novel and unique in a way that very few things are. Yeah, solid effort. I I'm glad that I played this, even though it was very hard a lot of the time. A lot of that's on me for always choosing the second to last difficulty. I have no idea what happens if you pick the hardest difficulty, but I'm not fixing to try. Anyways, that'll be it for me tonight. Merry Christmas, everybody. I don't know yet if I'll be back for Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, but we'll probably round out the week no matter what. So thank you all for joining me. And until next time, no matter when that is, I'll see you around. Merry Christmas and bye bye now.